$50, $40. That's 40 here, ladies and gentlemen, around the ring. 40, 40, 30, 30, 50, 50 bears. That's 50 now. One bowl beer's going to get him too. $50 he goes.
So, steering column's back in so I can actually steer it now. Welcome to another Rec to Resto episode. On today's episode, we're going to cover a few different things. We attended an auction up in Boyup Brook, which is a couple hour drive, sort of northwest of Albany. So it was a pretty interesting auction. I think you guys will enjoy it. We didn't get to stay for the whole thing, but yeah, it was still good to go up there and see what a few other things went for. Also, I've been carrying on with some of the repairs on the HK Prem. So I've ticked off a couple of things on that, so I'll show you what I've been working to on that, and also give you a bit of an update of what else has been going on. Been pretty busy with work and life and family and all the rest of it, so apologise for the bit of a delay between episodes, but we'll be able to get stuck back into it again now. If you're new to the channel, we're very, very close to hitting that 2,000 subscriber mark. If you haven't already, jump over, subscribe to the channel, and we appreciate the continued support. On today's episode, we're on the road. We're heading to a place called Boyup Brook, and we're going to go check out another auction. So this auction's come up, it's like a farm clearance one, but there's also a lot of old Holden Commodore stuff. So old parts cars, complete cars, Group A manifolds, etc., etc. There's even a brand new CR500 still sitting in its original crate that's never been unpackaged. So should be pretty interesting to see what some of this stuff goes for. We've left Albany about 7:30, so we're just rolling in. We're almost into Mount Barker now, and it's about a 2-hour drive from Albany to get there. So we'll keep trucking along, and we'll catch up with you once we get up there. Hunt for an interior light.
70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 70, 80, took it here, 80 with him, 80, 90, 100 bid, and I'll take your 20s, 100 here, 100 all right, oh, but he done it 100, 20, you're sneaky, 120 out back, you get it, brother. 50, 40, that's 40 here, ladies and gentlemen, around the ring, 40, 40, 30, 30, 50, 50 bid, that 50 now, one bowl bid's going to get him too, $50 he goes, oh, but he done it 50. Thank you, 188 gets him.
So they've started the auctions behind us, so you would have seen there's been some VT Commodores and VS and things like that that have literally sold for $2. So there's a couple others, like a VS Statesman that had 5 litre in it, that went for about $600. But yeah, there's been a lot that have sold very, very cheaply. These ones behind us, they're all pretty well wrecks, like the conditions unknown, so who knows if the engines are seized and all that sort of stuff. But the good cars are over this side, and we might as well go check that out now while the crowd's over there.
Oh, did he?
Make a pretty good project. Pretty rough, but it'll probably still go for a good price. VNSV.
You just added $1,000 to that by fixing that bumper, bro. Well done.
This VS Ute's obviously not in the auction, it's just in the car park. But how clean is this thing? Definitely want to have one of these things in my shed at some stage. So we've come, we've saw, but it's time to head off and get home. It was pretty interesting to see. We can't stay till the very end and see all the other cars go up, but we'll let you know what they all go for. So as you can see, we had to leave a little bit early from the auction to get home. We managed to stay through all of the first auctions that they did, which was pretty well all of the old Commodores and things like that. It was crazy how cheap some of them went for. But yeah, we had to leave just before they started doing the main showpieces. One of the big ticket items that has obviously been all over the internet for the last few weeks was that 2001 CR500. So there wasn't a lot of information like when we got there, and pretty well had a look. And as most people know, brand new bikes when they're shipped in a crate don't have the front wheel on them, number one. So that crate was basically just knocked up out of a bit of angle iron. It wasn't the original shipping crate or anything like that. Didn't have the original wheels on it. It had XL rims. So apparently there was a few mods that had been done to it, but it was still a brand new bike. But yeah, $81,000 that went for. So everyone was pretty shocked at that. But then the following day, the guy that was promoting it, his name's Commodore Man, pretty well put on social media that the bike had been stolen. Anyway, moving on, a bit more information's come out, and pretty well the whole auction was just, I wouldn't say it was a scam, but it was a bit of a hoax just to try and get people there. Apparently the guy that bought the bike had actually bought it the day before. He'd already paid for it, he bought that, and he also bought the VPSS Commodore, the red one. Basically he went there the next day to pick it up, put it on the trailer, and it sounds like the guy that was running the auction wanted a bit more money, so he's pretty well said that, yeah, put it out there that he stole it. And anyway, it sounds like there's a bit of legal stuff that's going down with the whole thing, so we won't actually know the whole story until that's all done. But yeah, it was still a good day to get out there and have a look. But yes, some of the like the 5-litre 5-speed Commodores were going for pretty big money for what they were, when at the end of the day most of them were only donor cars. Like, you'd pull the engine and transmission and things like that out. The bodies were pretty rough, some of them had a fair bit of rust, so yeah, who knows. But anyway, it was a good day to get out there, and we caught up with some other YouTubers while we're there as well, so they've already done their videos and they're out. So if you're interested to see a bit more content and basically see what a lot of those other Commodores sold for, we'll leave the link in the description below. But there was Torq Hub, so caught up with Jeff there, he did a video of it. There was Dave from HK Garage, same thing. He's got some pretty good drone footage of the whole event as well, so it's crazy how many people were actually there. And also Aussie Garage did one, so we'll leave the link for those 3 videos in the description if you want to check them out. But yeah, it was all pretty interesting. It's been a couple of weeks, everyone's been a bit crook, it's getting into winter, it's just all part of it. Got a bit of time today, so carry on with a couple of repairs here. Done a little bit, couple bits off camera, so I'll show you that as well. But start off with the tail light bucket, get that one welded in because that's all done, and then we can move on to another repair on the other side. So this is just held in there at the moment just with the vice grips, but it's lining up pretty well with the spot welds, so I can go along and slowly spot this one back in. I won't do anything on this side yet because this panel has to come off, so I'll leave these spot welds here until the very end, until that panel's repaired, but I can get all of these internal ones spot welded in. Other thing I've been working on is this repair on this side here. So this body line that you see that runs through here, the piece that I cut out, just show you, had a big dent right through the body line, and it's in one of those spots that would have been really hard to get in there and repair it because you can't really get behind it. So luckily I had a spare cut of a quarter off another HK Prem, and then I've cut this piece out and spent a bit of time and getting the fitment really nice because I want to TIG weld this one in. I'll put some photos up that I took while I was doing this, but pretty well made this panel so it sat nice on top of the old one. I've put some, went along with permanent marker the whole way around, and then I've scribed the whole way around it. That's transferred the mark really well, and then I've cut the majority of it out with the angle grinder, and then just finished it off with the tin snips and also my air file. So I just went along with that one. Also the die grinder with that one, and my other little air sander, this one here. So I just took my time and got it so it's fitting pretty good. So you can sort of see the fitment on this one. It's pretty good the whole way around. So it's dropped in a little bit here, so it's just because I haven't got the magnets in the right spot at the moment. But when I tack this one in, the areas that are sitting really nice, I'll work my way around, get a few tacks on it, get the whole thing tacked the whole way around. Once I'm happy with it, then that can get welded in. Sweet. So these will all get ground off now. That's the bucket itself back in. The rest of this is when the rear beaver goes on. The rest of that gets welded on. So, and this piece of the quarter, like I said before, I'll just leave that until I know exactly what's happening with that outside skin. Part one done. Might convert this welder over to TIG and we'll go have a play on the other side. First thing when you go to TIG is the earth now goes into the positive. And the TIG handpiece is now negative. And also remember to swap the gas over. Shut that one off, turn that one on. Well, I've got a little bit of MIG wire left here to use as TIG filler, but what I might do is you can just go back onto the home page where it's MIG, and this button here actually does the wire. So if you press and hold that, you can see the wire coming out. So I just basically press and hold that, give myself some TIG filler on. Cut it off there. Back onto TIG. Take this over to the vise and give it a straighten out. Two. Easy as that. So I've just got this held in there at the moment just with the magnets. So I'm feeling this side here and I've got a really, really good fitment up here. So I'm just going to get a couple of tacks on here. Once I've got a couple of tacks there, then I can just work my way around with the magnets. I can get my hand in behind it, basically get it so it's nice and flush. And yeah, just get it tacked in and we'll see how it goes. Today I am not having a win. Played around with the settings, I've got it dropped right down, but it just, this factory metal is very, very thin, so I might end up just getting it spotted in with the MIG and then fill it in with the MIG afterwards, with the TIG afterwards. Seems to be working a bit better. So in the areas where I got really good fitment, I've bumped my amps up to about 60 amps, no pulse. Just give it a real quick tack. And yeah, I can get a decent fusion tack in now. So I'll keep going with this and see how I go. Just lift it up on the hoist of it. One thing about doing this sort of work when you're playing around is just figure out, it's a bit of trial and error, figure out what works for you and what doesn't work. And yeah, just play around with it. So moving on, we'll give you a bit of a shed update of what I've been up to and sort of, it's been a few weeks since we put a video out. Been super busy at work and the whole family got sick, so that sort of put us out of action for a few weekends, but should be able to get back into it again now and keep progressing with the progress on the Prem. The other thing that I've done is, I'll show you shortly, but I wanted to get the whole ute basically reassembled into a rolling car again. When you're not working on a car, it's just so much easier to keep it contained into a rolling shell, put all the hanging panels and keep it together. So that's one thing I did last weekend, got the whole thing back together, got it rolling again. So that can go off to the side, put the car cover on it and just forget about it. While I'm working on the Prem, get this Prem done, and once that's done, then I can basically move full steam ahead back into the ute. Anyway, I'll do a bit of a walk around now and I'll show you what we've been up to. So the Prem here, come over here, the ute actually resembles a ute again. So yeah, diff's back in it, front end, pulled the front end. So this front end is actually the one that was under the Prem to get that rolling. So I've taken it out of the Prem and put it back under the ute. Steering column's back in, it's all hooked up, so I can actually move it around and steer it. All the other parts and bits and pieces are just stacked in it. So when this ute was pulled apart, everything was bagged and tagged and put into plastic tubs. So pretty well everything for this ute is in the tubs and inside it. Obviously rear screen, got a heap of rust repair panels for it. The old radiator and tailgate and all that sort of stuff, it's all there. So that windscreen's actually the screen that's out of the Prem. So I've just chucked it in there for now because it's easier to just keep it in the car so it doesn't get, well, I'm going to get new glass for it anyway, but it's good to keep the stainless trim in it just so you don't damage it. Yeah, the original bonnet and everything's back on it, bumper. I'd say they've run up the back of a ute or a truck or something at some point. So that's something that will have to get repaired. But yeah, she's back together again. Probably going to pull all the hanging panels off the Prem, the front end and everything, so that can get stored back over here where all the ute stuff was. And then the ute can get parked up over here and forgotten about for a bit. There's quite a few bits I need to cut off this donor car, so I'll leave that one out just so I can access it. But yeah, just have a bit of a shed shuffle around and make a bit more space again. I'll show you the other repair that I was working on in the Prem that it's pretty well all tacked in, but it just needs finishing. I ended up using the MIG on a couple spots because I had a couple blowouts with the TIG. So this is just tacked in, it's not finished. That needs sort of sanding back, and it's at the stage now where I can go through with the TIG, finish it all off. I wasn't 100% happy with how this piece here had turned out. It actually like sucked in and I just rushed it. So luckily I've got another piece. I'm probably just going to cut this little section out. So I'm going to do another repair through here, maybe come out a little bit wider and just cut it out. So it's only this corner that I'm not happy with. Everything else is pretty well perfectly nice and flush. So if I'm not happy with it, I might as well redo it. It's not a hard thing to do. So this is one car that I want to make sure I get right. So if it takes me a couple extra hours to get it right, that's what it's going to take. Next thing on the list is obviously the beaver panel. So now I've got that tail light bucket in. This beaver panel is just sitting on that at the moment, but I have to paint the inside, and as soon as I've painted the inside, that one can go on. I've got another little toy here, so I'm going to do a review on this when I get to using it. But yeah, got myself a little spot welder. It's just a little cheapie, but there's a lot of areas in here that'll be so much quicker to use a spot welder to put this panel back on than drilling it all out and plug welding it. So there's still going to be areas that I need to plug weld, but there's just going to be a lot of little spots in there that I can use that, and it'll save me so much time. So pretty keen to have a crack with it and give it a try out. But we'll leave that video here. Thanks again for watching. We're getting pretty close to 2,000 subscribers now, so yeah, if you want to support the channel, jump over, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep putting out content like this. Thanks again, and we'll see you again soon.